Hey guys, and welcome back. Okay, so today you are cooking with me a large family meal. On the menu is mustard greens. I went to a local store close to me and they had a lot of fresh vegetables and a lot of fresh meats. And so I was happy about that because usually I have to just go to the grocery store and find it. So this is kind of like a farmer's market slash meat store slash restaurant. Really cool. So I'll be making fresh mustards. I'm gonna make some fresh fried green tomatoes. So yes, they also had fried green tomatoes that I have not been able to find. And I'm gonna do beef ribs. Yes, I usually do my beef ribs in my Instapot, but these are really big. So I'm not gonna do it, I'm just gonna, so my memory card, gotta go on my camera. So I had to switch and record. That's why I just stopped in thin air. But like what I was saying was, usually I cook my beef ribs in my Instapot. Bless you, bless you. Cover your mouth, please, sir. Can you do that? Okay. So usually I cook my beef ribs in my Instapot, but the ones that I was able to find at this meat store slash grocery store slash restaurant, they are huge and they will not be able to fit. I will have to cut them all up and everything else to get them in there, and they probably would take longer. So I'm just gonna slow cook them in my oven on 325. It's 342 right now. And so I'm gonna get those on first. And there's not gonna be a lot of talking in this video, just watch because it is a cook with me. So I will have on the screen the recipe written out so you can see it if you wanna try it. But for the most part, it's just gonna be cooking this meal for my large family of 10. If you are new here, welcome. I am a mom of 8 children. From ages range from 12 all the way down to 1 year. And me and my husband are super busy. We love it, but we've got to feed these kids. And so I've got to get to cooking now because I'll look up and it'll be 5 or 6 o'clock. So I'm going to get started. Let's get started. Okay guys, so you saw me cut up my mustards. I did a quick, easy way, you know, to each its own. If you know how to cut them up better, please put in the comments below, give me an idea because I'm not that used to dealing with mustards. I've had the mixed mustards and turnips, and then of course I've had, usually I just strip them. But I was like, I'm gonna cut these stems off or the little tips off and then just chop them up. Now, the difference between these fresh ones that I bought and the ones that I bought like in the bag at the grocery store that's somewhat washed and cut up or whatever, I just killed a bug. So that is one reason why you should always wash and clean your vegetables. What I did was I put about 3 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar because it kills bacteria and cleans it very well. I would do that with all my vegetables. Now fruits, you know, I don't do that because I don't want that vinegar taste on my fruits, but vegetables, you will never taste it. As long as you're washing it and rinsing it off really well, you will never taste the vinegar. And that's gonna kill any bugs that's in there because these came straight from the field to the store. So organic all the way. Okay, so now I'm about to start on the ribs, getting the ribs on and getting those slow cooked. And we'll do the cornbread and start on our fried green tomatoes. So these are it. I'm going to go ahead and cut them out of this pack. And if you don't like beef ribs, the spices that I'm using and the way that I'm making them, you can use pork ribs if you want to. Bag here for my trash. I'm be careful dealing with bloody meat, but if you're gonna be cooking, you're gonna have to deal with bloody meat. Okay. So before I wash them off, I'm gonna try to take much of that film off the back. That kind of makes your meat kind of rubbery. Like the membrane almost. So I'm just going to strip this off right here. And the reason you're doing this is you want your meat to be tender. And sometimes what will happen is if you're cooking ribs, they'll start falling off the bone, but you've got this little gristly part that holds on that I just took off. That fat part, and you can taste it too. To me, it's nasty. But that'll be on there when you are trying to eat your ribs. Guys, so I'm going to show you my spices that I'm putting on my ribs. I've got granulated garlic, I have ground black pepper, I have some onion powder, steak seasoning, I've got this wood garlic, smoky, and it's really good on grilled food, especially if you want to cook inside the house, if you want that smoky flavor like liquid smoke would give. But in this seasoning, I've got some garlic, onion, black pepper, and sea salt. Yes, it seems like I have so much garlic, but it's delicious. Okay, and then I've got about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. You could use whatever type herb you like. With beef, I like rosemary or herb of Provence, where it's just like a mixture of herbs. I've got some ground paprika, some Worcestershire sauce, and my olive oil. And all I'm going to do is just coat this from front to back with the spices, and then I'm going to put them in this roaster. I put about a half a cup of water in this roaster because you don't want, as the drippings from the meat cooks, you don't want this to burn. And then of course I've got some foil that I'm sorry, it was smashed in my drawer. I'm gonna wrap them up in foil, and then once they are done with that 2-hour process that I told you guys about, I will take the foil off. I know it seems like it's a lot of work, but it's so well worth it because it's so good. But if you don't want to do that, of course, just use the top for the roaster, and then you don't have to wrap it up. So if that makes it easier, then just do it. I'm gonna be making some other dishes in my oven, and usually when I use my roaster, I have to take my top rack out, so that leaves other dishes being pushed to the side. So let's get started. Hey guys, so yeah, that was not gonna work. I'm used to using this for like chickens, and I can roast 2 whole chickens in here, and I also roast my turkey breast and my prime rib in here, and it works fine. But 2 big racks of ribs were not going to work out. So what I did was the same thing. Is I just lined a humongous cookie sheet, and I put 2 racks, my baking racks, which will be fine because I've used it for wings and stuff. Those baking racks, you can use them for anything. Wrap them in foil, really nice and tight. Put 2 cups of water on this large cookie sheet, so as the drippings drop, they will fall in here and it will not start to burn. Like I said, they're gonna go in a 325-degree oven for 2 hours and 15 minutes. And hey guys, okay, I had to pause it. And my husband said that he wants to crisp them up on the grill, so hey, that is fine with me. And then we'll baste them with, we'll leave one plain, and we'll leave one with, put sauce on one of them. So we're gonna start with our next recipe, which is getting our homemade cornbread made, and then we'll start getting our fresh mustards on because they've had time to clean. I'm gonna rinse them off really well and throw them in the Instapot. Now that is one thing that I can do. And then we'll start on our fried green tomatoes. Hey guys, so I decided to go ahead and get my cornbread in the oven so that can go ahead and start because I need to get that baked. So what you see right here is cornmeal of whatever choice. There is 1 cup of cornmeal. I like yellow because I like the color that it makes the cornbread look golden and it's less grainy. So I have a cup of cornmeal. I have a cup of flour. I just keep showing that cornmeal. Yeah. A cup of flour. I have 2 large eggs. I have a cup of sugar, and I have buttermilk and melted butter in together. And all I'm going to do is just mix everything, throw everything in, mix it up, and bake it in, of course, a 425-degree oven for about 25 minutes until golden brown and delicious. So on to our tomatoes. Look how beautiful those tomatoes are. Just beautiful, nice and firm. That's how I like them. I don't like them to be overripe going into being a red tomato mode. So I've got 4 large green tomatoes. These are the ingredients that you will need. So I have a half a cup of all-purpose flour. You can use self-rising too. It'll give it a nice crispy crust. And then I have a half a cup of cornmeal, some of the same cornmeal that I use for the cornbread. I have, I'm going to do a teaspoon of chicken bouillon and a teaspoon of Slap Your Mama seasoning, and of course some granulated garlic. I will put black pepper on last, right when they come out, because I want that pepper to be on there, not to fall off. And then of course I have 2 large eggs with a cup of whole milk for the dredging. And I'm just going to mix everything up, slice up the tomatoes, and I'm going to go ahead and set everything aside. I will not cook the tomatoes until everything else is ready. That will be last, because you want your tomatoes to be nice, crispy, and hot when you eat them. Guys, so you just saw me rinse and clean my greens. Yes, so we've got to make sure that we don't want to eat any gritty greens sitting up here like the Jackson 5 family with bugs and grit and dirt floating in our greens. No, that's a no. So I just have them right here. Just have them right here in this bowl. I'm going to put them into the Instapot because it works wonderful and it saves time. Typically greens, of course, take about 30 to 45 minutes if you're going to slow cook them and you want them to be tender and done, not like still light green like this and just think that they're done, because that's not how the South cooks their greens. Let me put it like that. Low and slow for about 45 minutes to an hour. And the longer they cook, the better they get. So I'm not putting any smoked turkey. I forgot that I should have put that in there earlier. So, oh well. But they're going to be so flavorful. I'm going to add all my spices and seasonings to the greens. And they'll take about 15 minutes in. Well, probably about, I'm going to cook them for 12 minutes. And then let them vent. And then if they are ready or if they need more time, I'll do about 2 minutes or 3 minutes for a total of 15 minutes. Because it usually takes about, it all depends, maybe 5-10 minutes for it to vent. And in the process of it releasing the pressure, it's still cooking. So we don't want our greens to be overcooked and we don't want our greens to be undercooked. So the spices that I'm going to use, of course, is chicken bouillon, chicken broth, just some paprika, some sugar, some oil. I'm actually using vegetable oil, not olive oil. You don't cook greens with olive oil. That's nasty. And crushed red pepper for a little spice and some garlic, and that's it. So, and I'm eyeballing it, so it's not a measurement, but what I will do is I will put that recipe below so you can have it. Yes, everything is in the oven. It's 5 o'clock right now. So I have 1 hour and 40 minutes left on my ribs in the oven on slow. And then my husband said he will grill them off, which takes about 5-10 minutes. And I will show you everything once it's done. Thank you guys so much for watching my large family meal that I prepare for my family. And yes, and if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, and share. Yes. Like and share. And thank you so much for the ones that show support. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys next video. Bye. I don't know what happened, y'all. I'm glad that they did not cook too much where they were falling apart because we're going to put them on the grill. But this is how they look. Don't they look delicious? We've already sampled some and they taste so good. So grilled off and crisped off. Like I said, if you want to put them on the grill, I'll give you the exact time in the description below once he finishes them off, because I'm not really sure. But under the broiler, of course, under the broiler, it will be, of course, less time, probably about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. In the past, that's what I've done to crisp them up to where they're not burned, but the sauce is cooked on them very well. So I will show you once the sauce has been put on there and how everything comes together. Hey guys, so this is everything. Everything is ready. I've got the mustards. They are so delicious. Yes, we already ate a piece of bread. Got our cornbread. Got our ribs. This is the plain. That's the barbecue. And our fried green tomatoes. Yes, we are about to eat. It is 7:15. Perfect time. I will see you guys next video. Bye.